Welcome to Christina. So, Christina, well, first of all, for all the people that don't know me, I'm Claudia and founder and owner of the Recover from HIV.
Christina, well, first of all, for all the people that don't know,
also
I'm Claudia.
Facebook, because otherwise I get distracted by my voice. So Christina, all the way from the UK, she joined the program, when was it? November. I think that was the 1st of November, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
And it was so exciting because around that time, also Anna and Carla, which have been part of the lives a few months ago, joined the program as well. The three of them, they all wanted to get their period back, become a mom. And Anna and Carla, they are already on the way there. And Christina, hopefully, is going to be the next one. But she's here today to share how she got her period back. And also, Christina would like to focus on doing all the things and still not seeing any results, because you went through the process for 6 months, but you kept showing up, you kept doing the things. And now I would like to hear your story and how it was for you. So welcome, Christina. Hello. How are you doing?
Cool. Where shall I start?
Well, first of all, how did you lose your period to start with?
Yeah, so as soon as it was sort of like lockdown time, I had so much more time on my hands because we couldn't go out. I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't do all the things I would normally be doing. So I started doing my exercise classes. So I'm a fitness instructor and I teach a variety of fitness classes. So I teach like body combat and Zumba and all sorts of things. And on a regular week, I'd be teaching about 5 classes a week. And then I'd be weight training like 4 times a week roughly, plus going on walks. So I was very active all of the time, and I was clearly under eating for the amount of activity I was doing. And I think when it came to lockdown, I just had even more like time on my hands. So I was just exercising more and had more sort of control of like the food I was eating. And I did lose a small amount of weight, but it got me to quite a state where my body did not like it, and I was very, very small for my weight, but I couldn't see that at the time. So I was quite a small weight, and at that point, I decided, well, my husband and I decided that we wanted to start a family. So I had my my coil removed. And then nothing happened. I didn't get any period for like a month, and nothing happened. And I went to the doctor and they said, oh, it could take a while to come back. So I waited, and it got to like 3 months and like nothing had happened. And then that's when I started to get a bit worried about it, and I didn't know what to do. And then I found Claudia online, and all these girls who were in similar positions, lots of people who had lost their period and they weren't sure why. Most of them were very active, and I thought, oh, these are the kind of girls who probably are in the same similar boat as me. So I joined the group and discovered that I had HA, and it's just because I was massively just over exercising. I was doing a lot of exercise and definitely not eating enough, and that's why. I think I found it more of a challenge for me because part of my job is as a fitness instructor and a personal trainer, so I have to do the classes to earn money as part of my job as well. It's my business. So the fact that I couldn't just go cold turkey and just drop all my classes was quite challenging. So I had to continue to do them, but I made all the changes with all the support from Claudia and all the advice. I made the changes which were needed to get my period back eventually. It took longer than most people, but I think that is because I was still quite active, but I dramatically changed my lifestyle, keeping my classes, but I changed the way I did it in order for me to get my period back in the end.
Yeah, and I remember that when I met you the first time, we had like a long and nice conversation, and we really clicked. But then you said, "Look, I just need to think about it." And I remember that the first time I also met your husband, he was like on the back walking, and you went away with the informations, and then I didn't hear from you for a month approximately. And I'm wondering what happened during that month. What made you finally decided to move forward and seek help to get your period back?
Yeah, I think within that month, I thought I was doing the right things, and I thought I was eating more, and I thought I was reducing my exercise, but in fact, I was kind of kidding myself. I was kind of in crazy recovery. I was eating like, one tiny extra thing a day, and it wasn't enough. And I was still doing all my classes, and I wasn't taking the intensity down as much as I needed to. And I just assumed that the results will come quickly. And I think the fact that I wasn't doing it properly, it just upset me. I was like, it's not happening. Why isn't this happening? And I just thought, and I felt like I just felt a bit alone in it, because I felt I was the only one. I mean, I sort of told my friends and, my family, and they're all very supportive, which was amazing. But there wasn't anybody I could talk to like for like who was going through like the same thing as me, just someone I can just like chat to, just, ask how you're doing, and, symptoms, different things, and just ask questions. And that was one of the things which I really wanted to join Claudia in the group, because all the girls I just know are in like the same boat as me, and we were all in the same position. And I know that any question wouldn't be like a silly question. You could ask anything and people would just completely understand how you feel. And it was so worth it, because I had so many answers to questions, and I could see other women having the same things as me. And I met some really lovely girls along the way who I've become friends with. And it's been almost like a group sort of community, and just like a really nice, like uplifting community. And it really helped the whole journey for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
can we actually pause there for a second? Because it's not that you only joined the community, meaning online, but you actually met one of the girl in person. You actually met twice already, and then I don't know if you met again, but I do remember that you ladies sent me a picture, and it made my heart explode. I was so happy. So tell me more about it. How is to meet someone that has been going through HA in person? Like which kind of friendship were you able to develop, let's say, in the HA community?
Definitely. I mean, because there are so many girls in the group from all across the world, and it was really cool that there was a couple of girls who were from the UK, and then there was one girl who was really close, like in the same county as me, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, you're only like half an hour away. I was like, what are the odds of that? Where loads of people are like America and Australia and like everywhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a girl who's like half an hour away. I was like, I've got to meet her. So we were first. I saw her like in the group chats, and then we'd chat on Facebook Messenger, and just still originally we're just like, hi, how are you? I'm from Kent, and we just sort of got chatting, and it was really nice. And we're just sort of chatting, like, back and forth on Facebook, and then we're chatting for like a good, I don't know, a couple of months or so. And then we decided to meet up, and it was great. It was amazing. It was so fun, and it was so nice just to meet in person. And because it's different trying to have a conversation over like WhatsApp and like Facebook and stuff. And as soon as we met, we just like instantly like clicked, and we just talked for like the whole day. And it was ridiculous. We just sat in this coffee shop for like 5 hours, just it was amazing. And it was so nice just to talk to somebody in real life who is going through the exact same thing, and we'll just talk about like the same like symptoms we had and the same emotions we had around the whole recovery situation. And it was amazing to meet in real life. It was so good. We've met twice, and we've got plans for next month to meet as well. And now we've got over like talking about all the like HAE like stuff. Now we're like becoming friends, and
Yeah, moving on with life.
So it's lovely. Yeah, no, it's really, really great. Really great.
I wish that I could have been there, because Jade and I, we have this dream of one day to create a retreat for the women that are part of the program, so we can actually meet in person and do a few workshops in person. But you and Oh my God, I was gonna say you and Christina, but you are Christina. You and Anna have already done that, which is fantastic. But so going back to your specific story, Christina, I remember, so you joined the program, you made the changes, so you couldn't stop exercising because of obvious reasons that you have already covered, but you tweaked a few of the classes so that you could, slow down your heart rate on 85% of the time. And then you got to a point where you had done all the changes and still your period wasn't showing up, right? How did you feel at that stage?
Yeah, it was really upsetting because I felt like I was doing everything I needed to do. I was taking all the advice, I was eating more, I was resting more, trying to reduce my intensity when I was doing all my exercise classes. And I felt like those were the biggest changes, and I was doing everything I could. And it was really disheartening, especially because I really love my classes and I have quite a lot of energy and I love to like go full throttle, and I just absolutely love it. So for me to like restrain myself was really difficult. And the fact that, the inevitable weight gain, which, happens, it is what it is. It also is just, it's hard when, you're putting on weight and, you don't feel yourself, you don't look yourself, and plus you can't do all the things you want to do because you have to sort of restrict yourself in terms of all the exercise. So it was really hard. But I was so grateful that I have so many lovely supportive friends and family who have been with me like the whole way and have just said, just keep doing what you're doing. It's going to happen. And I knew that it's not something which needs, normally, I don't think, like, it's not something which like necessarily needs medication. Like, it is a natural thing that you can heal yourself. So I knew that I could do it. I just needed to keep going and not give up. So I knew if I just gave up, I'd be back at square one, and it would just take even longer. And I think just the motivation, because I just really, really want to start a family, that's just what kept me going. I just thought, I've got to keep doing this, just keep going. I know you feel sad, I know you feel bad, I know you're not seeing the results you want at the moment, but you've got a really amazing support network online and family and friends, and it will happen because it's something which your body is capable of doing. And so many women before me have done it, and so it is possible. And I really didn't want to go down the medication route if possible. I mean, that would be like a last resort, but I just know if I did all the things, eventually it would happen. And I knew it was because I was still doing my exercise classes. That's why it was holding me back a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why, really.
Well, you think that it took you a long time to get your period back compared to other women, but let's face it was only 6 months. 6 months is really long time, eh? And plus, you're still doing the classes. So yes, you have changed your lifestyle and your body has gone through a few changes as well. But you haven't really dramatically had to stop your life in order to get your period back. You kept on going and doing the things that really made you happy, and also that obviously it was your job. So that was something that you couldn't really give up, for sure. One question that I wanted to ask you, you mentioned that you had the online support, the friends and family support, but how did you stay committed on those days when your energy was quite low? So just to give you an example, I remember that Carla, every single day, Carla is one of the other women that was part of the HA community back at that time, for all the women that don't know, she had a vision board. So every single morning she would wake up and repeat her mantras. She would see the vision board and remind herself why she was doing the recovery, basically. What worked for you?
Mine was probably quite similar. I just used to remind myself like why am I doing this? And my big why is I want to start a family, and if I carry on the way I'm going, I will get there in the end. I just need to keep committed and just keep going, just focus on the end result, focus on the finish line, and I know I'll get there eventually. Just keep reminding myself of the positives, and imagining life with a new member of the family. I just get picturing that kind of scenario, like
Beautiful.
Me and Rob and like our child. I just kept picturing that, and that would like make me smile and be like, oh, that's what I want. Okay, keep going.
And I know that sometimes in the group call, I find that I sound like a broken record because I always invite women to go back to their whys and do the visualization meditations. But those tools really help because they can make you stick to something that you want to do even when you're not motivated at all. And especially when you start seeing the weight creeping up without seeing the results. Actually, let me ask you, how did you feel when you started to see your body changing?
Yeah, that I have to say, like, it's still something I'm like working on. It's hard, and I think because I'm used to seeing myself in a certain way and always being a certain size. I've always been like quite small, like my whole life, and now this is like the biggest I've ever been. So it's really hard, like, to see yourself looking like differently, and it's still something like I'm working on. At first, I found it really, really hard, really challenging. I used to get really upset about it, but over the months, I'm working on it, but I'm definitely getting better and just having a bit more sort of body acceptance and sort of appreciation, especially once I got my period. Then I was something sort of clicked, and I had more kind of like self-love in a way for my body. I was like, oh, this is my body, like, it's capable of doing this amazing thing, and I've been treating it terribly for such a long time, and now it's happy. Now I'm like, don't make it angry again. don't make my body upset again. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still struggle a little bit today, like, seeing yourself in pictures. I think because I just have this expectation of what I want to look like, and then I see myself in a picture now, and it's not quite, doesn't match up in my head of what I want. But at the end of the day, I know that that's just such a small thing in the grand scheme of life. Like, life is here to be lived and enjoyed, and people like me for me, not the way I look. Like, people like me for my personality, and like because I'm a nice person, I'm a good friend, and I love everybody, and like they don't care, if I've gone up a size. Like, I just have, yeah, that's just one of the things I just remind myself. I'm like, people like me for me, not the way I look. So that's always nice. And my friends are like so supportive, and my family, and they're completely fine with it. And they've never mentioned anything, and it's been fine. It's just something like I have to work on a bit more. But yeah, good days and bad days. But I definitely, one of the things that definitely helped though was just finding clothes which you find really comfortable, because then you feel more confident in yourself and happier. Like, I used to try and squeeze into my old things, and then I'd get really upset about it. And now I was like, do you know what? Just, these clothes aren't helping me. They're not giving me confidence. They're not serving me at the moment. Let's just put them away and buy some nice new comfortable things. And as soon as you buy comfortable things you feel good in, you feel happy, and you look in the mirror like, oh, this is nice, you suddenly have a smile on your face and you feel good about you, like, feel really good about yourself. So I definitely would say that, as I recommend that to, like, if there's ladies that are struggling, definitely new clothes. And it's an excuse to go shopping. I mean, it's great. So why not?
Normally say it's an excuse to go shopping. What's wrong with it? And also, when we say about buying different type of clothing, and we are not referring to baggy clothing that they don't make you happy, but it can be also flowery, flowy dresses, and especially now for summertime, it's perfect for you. So you can try on a completely new wardrobe. And obviously, body acceptance and self-love, it's a long-term journey that normally women recover their period before recovering their relationship with themselves. And that's also because of the messages that keep bombarding our brain every single day, from the moment that we wake up to the moment that we go to sleep. So Christina, thanks for sharing a few of the things, by the way, and for reminding us about the importance of living life and being with people, and also for reminding us about the difference between our body image and our self-worth, because that's something that women tend to forget, especially when going through the HA recovery journey. But can we pause for a second and talk about getting your period back? Were you expecting it? How did that happen?
Looking back on it, I should have seen the signs and took them more seriously, but at the time I just kind of brushed them off. So about a week, 10 days, a week-ish before I got my period back, I did feel like a little bit of soreness, like a tiny bit, but I kind of brushed it off because it was only quite a small amount. It was just a little bit. And I was like, oh, and I thought, oh, maybe just I was wearing a tight top or bra or something else. I kind of just like brushed it off. I was like, oh, it's probably nothing. And I kind of ignored it. But it was there for like a good week, just very subtly. And I thought, oh, it can't possibly be a sign because other women have said that it's been like really, really sore. Like they can't put clothes on. It's been like really sore. And mine wasn't like that at all. So I thought, oh, it can't be, that can't be like a sign. So I was like, it's probably not. And I kind of forgot about it. And then I did have quite an abundance of CM, but I thought, hey, that's good. Like, you know, great. But putting them two together at the time, I kind of thought, oh, it might be, but I was like, it's probably not enough. So I kind of forgot about it. And then a week later, it just kind of appeared. Well, it started very small, like a tiny bit, and I wasn't sure. I was like a tiny bit of brown. I was like, oh, is it? I'm not sure. And then I messaged Claudia straight away. I was like, is this something? I'm not sure. And she's like, oh, wait for it. And then literally like the next day, it was like, boom, there it is. I was like, I hadn't had it in so long. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go shopping now. I need to buy things. And I went down to like just like the supermarket to buy, you know, pads and stuff. And I was like licking the aisles. I was like, I've done this for so long. I was like, I don't even know what to get. I can't even remember. I was like, felt like I was 13 again. I was like, I haven't had it for so long. But no, it was fine. And it was, yeah, the first one was like heavy. And I think I just wasn't used to that at all, really, just having it so heavy. But in a way, I'm kind of pleased it was heavy because I feel like it was like a good kind of like, boom, here it is.
Let's
yeah.
get rid of the old and welcome the new. And you are so stoked when you got your period. I remember you texting me and saying, do you think that is? And I'm like, yes, it is, but I cannot say it. So let's wait for another 24 hours. And you are so extremely happy. And I was happier than you possibly. I think that normally I do cry when women that I've been working with or that have been part of the Che community get their period back, because I don't know, you share part of your life, one of the most challenging part of your life with me. And, you know, like I bring it very close to my heart. So you definitely made my day. And Christina, I wanted to ask you, you are one of the women, one of the few women that I've been interviewing that haven't given up the exercise at all because of what you do for work, basically. So if there were women looking at this live today, thinking, so if Christina says so, I can still exercise and get my period back, what would you say to them?
I'd say you can definitely still do it with exercise, but there's certain changes which I'll definitely recommend that you do. So for me, I was doing like 5 classes a week. I was putting 100% effort into all of them, and I was doing loads of weight training. I was doing lots of activity, and I wasn't necessarily always eating before and after my workout. So I'd say like the key things for me is when I did my exercise classes, I would dramatically reduce the amount of intensity I was putting into the classes. There are certain things which I couldn't, like for Zumba, like I have to dance for them to copy me. So that's one of the things I couldn't do, but I didn't go 100% energy. But with the other classes, I'd do like when I was speaking to Jade, she was giving me ideas that I could demonstrate more, like demonstrate a move and then let the class do it and just take more of like a coaching kind of role to it. So those are the things I did. And when I did want to go for a walk, even if I went for a walk, I would make sure that I ate something beforehand, whereas normally I wouldn't. So yeah, definitely like reducing your heart rate, eating more around your workouts, for like exercise, like energy availability before you do your workouts was definitely key to how I got mine back, and just eating more in general and taking more rest days. So yeah, I'd say definitely can work out, but take the intensity like right down, no hit. I do teach a hit class, but even now, like I don't participate in it. I demonstrate the exercise and then let the class get on with it instead of me joining in with the whole thing. So yeah, reduce hit, just do lots of walking. I enjoyed walking. It's good to get outside and just have some nice fresh air. And I did weight training, but I just took the weights down and did it less often. So basically everything was up, and I just reduced everything, took everything down a notch in terms of number of sessions and intensity. Just bring it right down, and eat around your workouts, plus eating more in general is how I did it.
And I remember that in one of the group call, you shared with us that your mom comes to your classes as well. And so we were saying, so why don't you mimic your mom instead of being the one that gives the 100% energy all the time? And I thought that was one of the sweetest things that I have ever heard. Like having a mom that comes to your classes is beautiful. I wish that my mom would like witness me while I work. I would love that. So Christina, before I let you go, what would you say to someone that is starting recovery or that has been struggling for a few months and feel quite stuck? Do you have any word of wisdoms that you would like to share?
Yeah, it will happen. Like, you got to keep the faith and keep going, and just believe in yourself, have that self-confidence and positivity that it is going to happen. If you're doing the things, if you are truly committed and you are truly doing the things, not just telling yourself you're doing the things, if you are doing them, it will happen. And if you surround yourself with loving people to support you along the way, that will definitely help in terms of feeling good about yourself. But it will happen.
One thing that you actually just mentioned, making sure that you're doing the things. And that's really important in the recovery journey, because sometimes we lie to ourselves, and some women, they don't even know what the things are in their specific situation. And it's not only about exercise and eating, but it's also how stressed you are, how stressful is your job, which kind of relationship do you have at home, do you have a past experience with trauma, with eating disorder. So there are so many things that needs to be considered. And so for all the women that are watching, always remember that your story is your story, and Christina's story is her story. So please, I invite you not to compare, and just take Christina's words of wisdom today and just make them your own. So create your own story. Christina, thank you so much for sharing your story. Once again, I'm saying story 3,000 times at the moment. Thank you so much for sharing the past 6 months with us in a nutshell, obviously. Thank you so much for being here. It has been absolutely amazing having you as a part of the Share community. And I will always miss you, Christina. It has been so nice having you around, that I wish that you could stay for longer, but actually it's time for you to go on and move on with the rest of your life, obviously. And so I just want to say goodbye to everyone and goodbye to Christina. And if you have any questions for Christina later on, just post in the comment section and I'm gonna send them to her. Okay. And do you have one last thing to say, or you good to go?
Probably just like, you can do it, girls. You're all in this together, and just keep going, keep positive, do the things. Don't tell yourself you're doing the things, do the things. And if you're ever in a dark place, just know that you've got friends and family and the group in Claudia's group who are there to listen and there to help. But keep going, because you can do it. You can do it.
Thank you for sharing. So keep going, ladies. You heard Christina. Just keep going. Bye, everyone.